Deep Red, Mr. Argento, we as a species might not deserve your cinematic talents. Who is a better horror director than Argento? Bava, maybe. Carpenter, very maybe. Cronenberg, not always a horror director, but there's a plausible case to be made there. Let's not count guys who did one-off classics, albeit very major classics, such as Kubrick, Friedkin, Roeg, or Polanski, or Kobayashi. Actually, put Kaneto Shindo on the short list of horror directors also, and Nobu Nakagawa, Kim Ki-young, Toshio Matsumoto, Shiro Toyoda, and Kenji Misumi on there. There's so many great 20th century Japanese horror films. Kim Ki-young is Korean though, of course, but I just felt I would mention him because he's still slightly underrated outside of The Housemaid and outside of South Korea just in general. But it makes you want to puke when people want to cite that trashy Ringu, Grudge, or whatever the hell else Japanese horror from the 60s through to the 80s and some of the 90s we could say is nuts. Totally visceral, not reliant on splatter, it's nightmarish and thoroughly competing with Mr. Argento at times, I'm confident in claiming. There are 6 Argento films which are wholly sensible candidates for his very best feature, including this one, Deep Red, but also Bird of the Crystal Plumage, Suspiria, Inferno, Tenebrae, and the Stendhal Syndrome. This isn't to take away from the superb quality of films such as Four Flies on Great Velvet, The Cat o' Nine Tails, or Opera, which are rather stellar giallo or just cinematic undertakings generally. I'm going to look at the 1975 titles listed on the 2026 TSPDT ranking, and we're going to play a game. Does Gerald Bruckner like Deep Red more than that film? First up, Sallow. Okay, what the actual fuck is that doing in this list? Good gravy. I'm not even going to get into this. I did very recently, as you likely know. I don't know if I like the idea of this taking up space on that list. Like, Sallow, really? I don't know. Progressives can be a bit, actually, it's beautiful and not denigrating or disempowering or problematic because we like being cutely contradictory sometimes. Tee-hee-hee. Okay, whatever then. Deep Red over Sallow without any hesitation, and I like to think you'll all feel that way also. India Song by Marguerite Duras. That's tough. Duras is a genius. I remember thinking that film was very excellent. Haven't seen it since then, and certainly not as much as I've seen Deep Red, so I'll place that on a par for now. Zala by Osman Semben. This one is a major masterpiece, seen it more than once. I'll place it over Deep Red. This is on the short list of the very finest films anyone has ever composed. Next up is a short film titled Four Seasons by Artavazad Peleshian, which I've never seen, so I can't comment on this one. Now there's Welfare by Frederick Wiseman. I love most of Wiseman's features. This one is not an exception. There's a small handful of Wiseman films I might feel motivated to say I prefer over Deep Red. Essene, Primate, Meat, Near Death, Zoo, or Belfast, Maine. A bit over a handful. Wiseman is a genius. Some of his films only seem lesser because he has directed more impactful films. It is not that any of the films I didn't list did anything wrong at all whatsoever. The Travelling Players from the monumental genius Theodoros Angelopoulos. Yeah, I'll give it to my man Theo. Few films are better than the best Angelopoulos films. I revere him almost more than any other director in the medium's history. Fox and His Friends. I really dig Fassbinder. I wouldn't be averse to placing a few Fassbinder films over Deep Red, but while I think Fox and His Friends is very solid, I don't think that would be one of them. Seven Beauties from Lena Wertmuller. Quite a strong film. Can't say I'd put it over Deep Red, however. Grey Gardens from the Maisleys brothers. Strong feature again. Won't put it over Deep Red still. The Passenger. I'll just put him on par. That's a bit too tough. Chantal Ackerman's film with the long title. I'll give it to Argento. Nice stuff, Chantal, but I can't lie about which flick I'd rather sit down with. Picnic at Hanging Rock. Well, Picnic, it has to be. Deep Red by Argento. Oh, it did make the list. I didn't think it did. Oh, good on it then. Nashville. Wow, what do you all think I think? The Man Who Would Be King. I like that one, but no way would I put it on a par with Deep Red, in my own view. Barry Lyndon. I'll just place those on par. I really love both of those. Daiso Uzala Kurosawa. Kurosawa has to win. That's nearly him at his very best. The Mirror from Tarks. It's not Stalker or Andrei Rublev or Solaris or Nostalgia. I do appreciate The Mirror. AOD's upload of Mirror sums up my own Gerald Bruckner's feelings quite well, very coincidentally, but not more than I do Argento's Deep Red. Dog Day Afternoon. Some very fine stuff from Lumet, but I still have to give it to Deep Red again. I never saw Sholay, the Hindi film from Ramesh Sippy. I will probably have to get around to it someday. Jaws. Damn. I actually might give it to Jaws, or I could just put them on par. Maybe I can do that instead, yeah. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I do really, really like those three Python flicks, Holy Grail, Life of Brian, and Meaning of Life, but I cannot say I like any of them more so than Deep Red. And One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest from Mr. Milos Forman. Look, I've known the film for quite a long time, since I was aged 12, and as much as I just adored it then, I still think it is a rather great, very thoroughly impressive film. And I've seen so many more films since then, and one of them is Deep Red, and it is not better than Deep Red, as far as I'm concerned, at least. We can close it here. I don't feel like typing anymore. Have a magnificent day/night.